Sometimes things in life are just inedible, but over the years, we have watched a handful of celebrities lose their minds, and it really makes you wonder what Hollywood could do to you if you weren't in the right headspace. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor, and today I'm counting down the top 10 canceled stars who lost their minds. So what celebrities do you think lost their minds? And let us know in the comments below. So starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kanye West. So back in 2022, the world saw Kanye West lose everything in the matter of seconds after he made some appalling anti-Semitic tirades that cost him his entire massive fortune. Almost everyone from his lawyers to agents and mouth-watering endorsement partners have dropped Kanye, and with his universal cancellation, it has caused the rapper's net worth to dip from $2 billion to $400 million. It all began at a Paris fashion show when the rapper thought it would be a good idea to wear a WLM t-shirt, which snowballed into anti-Semitism claims on mainstream and social media. The final straw was when Kanye completely lost it and started to throw some hateful statements at the Jewish community. The striking anti-Semitic comments forced even some of Kanye's biggest fans to back off and back the cancellation campaign of the rapper. But seriously, at the end of the day, Kanye really needed someone to take his phone away and keep him away from the spotlight, and that's where his team failed him. Number 9. Wendy Williams. It's clear that there's a lot going on with Wendy Williams right now, as the media personality is reportedly feeling broken. While it has been reported that the star is struggling with addiction that led to her being hospitalized, in the weeks leading up to her health scares, an inside source would then reveal to The Sun that the star was pretty much drinking every day while she was even filming her show. While the star seems like she was doing okay for a bit, The Sun would then soon publish another report that would reveal that Wendy was still not over the betrayal of her ex-husband Kevin Hunter, and these feelings have contributed to her downward spiral. When Wendy found out her ex-husband was having a baby with his mistress, she immediately filed for a divorce despite the two being married for 20 years. This is when Wendy also started to open up about her addiction, which stemmed from the betrayal to her viewers on the show. At this time, she would also confess to living in a sober house. But even after all of her hard work to get back on track, seems like she might be back at square one, as she has been caught looking pretty disheveled in the streets lately, and it looks pretty concerning, as it's clear that the star isn't exactly in the right headspace. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would really help us out. Now, hopping back to our list, at the number 8 spot, we have Miley Cyrus. So with Miley Cyrus starting off her career at the age of 11 as a child artist with the hit Disney Channel series Hannah Montana, she was the envy of many children who wanted to work in Hollywood. While the show was catered to younger audiences, of course, it's Disney, Miley suddenly shifted in the public eye, and this became a huge problem for Walt Disney Studios. When her song Can't Be Tamed was released in 2010, her image was drastically overhauled with her spicy music video. And because of this video, it was a little risky. It did raised some problems for Disney, as it featured their Hannah Montana star twisting around male and female dancers. While many would claim Miley was losing her mind as she was trying to escape the grasp of Disney to be free, it wouldn't be until Miley decided to pose topless with her back exposed for a Vanity Fair photo shoot that would have Disney scrambling to their feet when they realized Miley's squeaky clean image was threatened overnight. Just a day after the photo shoot, Disney then decided to cancel all connections they had with Miley, meaning her show and any music that played on the Disney radio channel. While the star continued to go on to ruin the good girl image Disney forced her to be, we all saw everything from tongues, risky outfits, twerking, and everything in between. But honestly, while Disney may have halted the new stages of Miley, she really came out here to prove to young women all over the world that we don't have to live up to society's pressures, and that was honestly pretty inspiring to see. Number 7. Britney Spears. Britney Spears has had a rough life. While the world just thought the star was losing her mind for no reason, when we all learned about her conservatorship, it all made us realize that every time the star acted out, she was really doing this because she was begging the world to notice that something was up and that she wasn't doing okay. While Britney's family forced the star to work endlessly so they could live off of her giant fortune. They enjoyed everything from spa days to champagne, and Britney would find herself being barred from these sorts of activities. It was so bad that the star couldn't even enjoy a cup of coffee. Now, eventually, Britney would tell the world what was truly going on with her and why her mental health was deteriorating so fast. And a lot of her actions then started to make a lot of sense. So back in the day when the world was making fun of the star and claimed that she was simply just off her rocker because she shaved her head or played dress up with her food at a restaurant table, while these gestures did seem a bit odd, it was Britney's way of showing us that her family was controlling her day-to-day life and she really needed us to help save her. Number 6. Will Smith. Just before the infamous Oscar slap, it said that Will Smith was having a terrifying vision that showed him losing all of his money. And while the star was also being humiliated by his wife again and again, he really didn't have anywhere to turn to. So it just kept getting bottled up inside, so eventually that pain and anger was so bottled up inside him that it was only a matter of minutes before the star would actually lose it. And unfortunately, that moment came just before he won an Oscar. While Chris Rock probably shouldn't have made such a hurtful joke to begin with, Will should have known better than to react with violence. With the slap sending Will into this professional life spiral, no one would have thought what was going to happen next. With Will being canceled, the Academy would then go on to ban him for the next 10 years from the award shows, and he also made the decision to quit the Academy altogether. And if it couldn't get any worse, Jada then started to make headlines saying that she never wanted to be with Will and that it was her mother forced her to do it. At the end of the day, Will's mental health was just deteriorating so fast that even he had to check himself into a hospital, focus on repairing his mental health. Now, it's clear that the actor won't stay canceled forever, but I do wish his recovery well, and I do hope things turn around fast for him because he definitely didn't deserve any of this. Number 5. Armie Hammer. So just when Armie Hammer was at the top of his career, no one would have thought his world would all come crumbling down after it was revealed that he was sending some pretty concerning messages to women. Since Armie has been the subject of intense scrutiny over the messages that claimed he had an outrageous fetish began spreading in January of 2021. It was clear that the star just wasn't in the right mind, we would all hope, because just days after the controversy had begun to unfold online, well, in the beginning, everyone thought the claims couldn't be true. But then when Armie stepped down from a role in Shotgun Wedding, we all started to realize that there actually could be some truth to the story. While the actor and his team continually denied the allegations that were being brought against him, it really makes you wonder what could be going through someone's mind that would make them tell potential partners that they wanted to eat them. Number 4. DaBaby. DaBaby is a Grammy-nominated artist who found himself being canceled after he made some outrageous remarks at Miami's Rolling Loud Festival back in 2021. While the star was on stage for his performance, out of nowhere, he began to call out members who are a part of the LGBTQ community. And here, he would continue to use crude language when he addressed them, all while he was spreading misinformation about medical issues. With artists such as Madonna, Questlove, and Elton John denouncing DaBaby's remarks after his concert, the whole world started to shut the door on the rapper as his performances started to be canceled all over the world. While DaBaby was trying to retract his comments just days later with an apology, he just caused so much pain and hurt to the point he won't be able to bounce back from this one anytime soon. Number 3. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller was on their way to become a well-known Hollywood name. And while in the beginning we all praised them for being an activist who stood up for victims of gender-based violence in indigenous communities, by 2020, Ezra started to usher in a new kind of Ezra. And this Ezra showed us they were hiding their true colors from us for years. After Ezra was caught on a video getting into an altercation with a fan at an Iceland bar, it would soon be rumored that they were also leading a cult and making unwanted advances on younger people. While the star did come out to say they were sorry for their past behavior and anyone they may have upset with it, they continued to spiral out of control to the point it was clear the apology was fake and that there was something really concerning going on. While Ezra would later come out to say that their mental health was behind their bad behavior, I don't think any of us believe that. It's just really weird that DC Studios still is supporting The Flash and Ezra with it. As if it was any other film star, their career would have faded away from Hollywood so fast that it makes you wonder if they have something going on that's allowing them to stay in the spotlight, when it's clear that being in the spotlight is actually causing them more harm because it's causing them to spiral more out of control. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan has had a pretty troubling past, from substance abuse to mental breakdowns. This girl has single-handedly kept gossip sites alive, as at one point, all we ever saw was her name smeared across the headlines for everything she was doing. While the actress has been sent to 5 rehab facilities for a total of 250 days since January 2007, she has also had to appear in court 20 times before 4 judges who have found her in violation of her probation 4 times, and they have even sentenced her to 6 months in jail. While it is worth noting that she did spend less than 2 weeks behind bars in her 6 trips to the Los Angeles County Jail, Lindsay was confined to her home for at least 35 days each time they let her out early. While the star started to spiral out of control due to her outrageous partying, by 2014, the Mean Girls star would finally ruin her reputation in Hollywood, which would cause her career to come to a halt for a bit of time. While the star continued to party for years to come, lately it seems like she's back on track and she's doing well. She just signed a Netflix deal, and we haven't seen her do anything out of the ordinary, and it's great to see her back on track, and I can't wait to see what she does next. And coming in at number 1 today, we have James Corden. Back in October, James Corden would be put on blast by Keith McNally after James decided to cause chaos in his restaurant. On Instagram, Keith would even claim that James has been one of the most abusive customers he has ever had to face in his restaurant in the last 25 years. What started off as a date night soon turned into a disaster after James lost his mind over his wife's wrong order. After James complained about a number of issues that were wrong with the meal, instead of doing what a normal human being would do, he took things too far, and he began to scream at staff members, "You can't do your job." James then lost his mind even more and started yelling at the server like a crazy person when he said, "You can't do your job. You can't do your job. Maybe I should go back into the kitchen and cook the omelet myself." And the worst part is, this isn't the first time James has acted pretty odd in public, as he actually has a long list of bizarre things that he's done, which proves he's either completely bonkers or he just let fame get to his head, or, it could be both. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches. Until the next one, remember to stay juicy.